The Weight of Unseen Stars by Reuben White. Chapter 1. A hollow echo. The city murmured with the din of 1,000 lives, a symphony of bustling feet and distant horns that clashed against the silence of Julia's empty apartment. Here, in the hollow echo of her solitude, every tick of the clock was a reminder of loss, each moment a wave crashing against the fragile shore of her heart. Julia sat by the window, her gaze lost in the dance of raindrops on the glass. The world outside blurred, a watercolor painting left in the rain, much like her life without Daniel. His absence was a gaping chasm, an endless night where no stars dared to shine. The silence was oppressive. It pressed down on her, a tangible weight that made it hard to breathe. Each creak of the floorboards, each distant hum of the city, was a reminder that life went on, indifferent to her grief. She reached for the letter again, her fingers tracing the familiar loops of his handwriting. "Whenever you look for me, I will be in arm's reach spiritually," he had written. But his spirit felt far away, a distant star in an unreachable sky. Chapter 2. A Garden of Ghosts. In the days that followed, Julia found herself wandering through memories as one would a garden overgrown with weeds. Each recollection was a flower wilted by the harsh sun of grief. Yet she tended them carefully, afraid that even a moment's neglect would erase his presence. She spent hours poring over old photographs, each image a portal to a happier time. Their wedding day, a blur of white and gold, the trip to Paris, where they had danced by the Seine, the lazy Sundays spent in bed, sunlight filtering through the curtains. Each memory was bittersweet, a reminder of what she had lost, but also of the love they had shared. Julia's apartment became a shrine to Daniel. His favorite books lined the shelves, his scent lingered on the clothes in the closet, and his laughter echoed in the rooms they had once shared. She found herself talking to him, her words filling the space, a desperate attempt to keep him close. "I miss you," she would whisper into the silence, hoping that somehow he could hear her. Chapter 3. The Weight of Unseen Stars. Grief was a constellation, a map of the heart's darkest regions, and Julia was its navigator. Each tear she shed was a star, each sob a meteor streaking through the void. Yet, in this darkness, she found a strange kind of light, a beauty that was not immediately visible but profound in its silent glow. Julia began to see the outlines of a new constellation forming. It was the legacy of Daniel, the love they had shared, and the battles they had overcome together. These were the unseen stars that now guided her, the weight of their light both a burden and a blessing. She found solace in small acts of remembrance, lighting a candle by his photograph, reading his favorite poems, and wearing the scarf he had given her. These rituals were threads that wove the fabric of her new reality, a tapestry of love and loss that was uniquely hers. She began to understand that while Daniel's physical presence was gone, his essence remained, an invisible force that shaped her every moment. Chapter 4. Ashes to Beauty. Julia remembered the promise of transformation, the poetic prophecy that Daniel had cherished. "There's a crown of beauty instead of ashes bestowed upon me," he had written. These words were a lifeline, a reminder that even amid death, there was the promise of rebirth. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Julia found herself standing at the edge of the sea. The waves lapped gently at her feet, and she could almost hear Daniel's voice in the rhythmic whisper of the tide, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of the spirit of despair. He had said, the ocean was vast, an endless expanse of possibilities, and Julia felt a spark of hope ignite within her. She began to embrace the changes that grief had wrought. She took up painting, finding that the act of creation was a balm for her wounded soul. She reached out to friends she had neglected, discovering that sharing her pain lessened its weight. Slowly, she began to rebuild her life, each step a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Chapter 5. The language of loss. Julia learned to speak the language of loss, to find words for the inexpressible pain that lived within her. She began to write, pouring her heart onto the pages of a journal, each entry a letter to Daniel. She wrote of her days, her dreams, and her struggles, finding that the act of writing was a bridge between the present and the past. She joined a support group, where others who had lost loved ones shared their stories. In their company, she found a community of kindred spirits, each person a mirror reflecting her grief. They spoke of their loved ones, their voices a chorus of love and loss that resonated deeply within her. Through these connections, Julia discovered that her pain was not unique, but part of the universal human experience. Chapter 6. A celebration of life. Julia learned to celebrate Daniel's life, to honor his memory not with tears, but with gratitude. She embraced the love they had shared, the battles they had faced, and the legacy he had left behind. It was a crown of beauty, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Whenever she looked for him, she found him in the quiet moments of reflection, in the laughter of friends, in the gentle embrace of a summer breeze. He was not gone, merely transformed, a part of the universe that now lived within her. She organized a memorial service, inviting friends and family to share their memories of Daniel. It was a celebration of his life, filled with laughter, tears, and music. Julia spoke of the love they had shared, the lessons he had taught her, and how his spirit continued to inspire her. It was a cathartic experience, a chance to publicly honor the man who had meant so much to her. Epilogue. The eternal dance. In the end, Julia understood that life and death were but two steps in the eternal dance of existence. Daniel's journey had not ended. It had merely changed form. His spirit was a part of the stars, the wind, the sea, and in every breath she took, in every heartbeat, she carried him with her. Julia found peace in the knowledge that love transcends the physical realm. It is an eternal force, unbound by time or space. She continued to live, carrying Daniel's memory, a source of strength and inspiration. So, never mourn my death, she thought, echoing his words in her heart, but celebrate a life well lived. The weight of unseen stars was a celebration of love, a testament to the power of memory, and a reminder that even in the darkest nights, the stars still shine. The weight of unseen stars. Whenever you look for me, I will be in arm's reach spiritually. Continue to pray for me and the ones you love. Comfort is reassurance, and let your praise be gratitude. I am in my Father's house, where there are many rooms, for he has prepared a place for me. When you celebrate my life, remember my legacy, the love that we shared and the battles we overcame. I may have left my body, but know that I am just asleep. There's a crown of beauty instead of ashes bestowed upon me, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of the spirit of despair. So, never mourn my death, but celebrate a life well lived. If you are enjoying the aroma of Sweet Memories channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button for future posts.